unbelievable, the noise of airplanes. That's a shotgun. The season is not open, I think. Anyway, so on my daily walk here, 2nd of February, started a little bit later underway because there were a lot of airplanes. They can smell if I'm out. I think they hate me personally. Anyway, they make a lot of noise, low frequency noise, and it lasts forever. It's immense power that, far from a clavichord. Anyway, what I would like to talk to you a little bit about is the future of authentic sound, YouTube, and not saying that I'm thinking on cancelling the channel, not at all, but just what kind of direction I would take the channel in. And if you just jump into this weird series of partita vlogging, I'm kind of daily vlogging as a counterbalance to give some light against the very serious recordings of the Bach partitas on tape. They are being live streamed and released later as separate videos on YouTube. And so it's nice, I hope, to give you a little bit of background, of behind the scenes maybe, information, or just myself brainstorming about how it goes and what the difficulties are. And while doing that, other topics are coming up, so that's great. And I cancelled the whole schedule for YouTube, which I had previously. You will remember, Authentic Sound started in 2014 with 2 videos a month. Then I had 3, the 1st, the 10th and the 20th, a video, music production. And then I added to that 2 days later, afterthoughts, talking about the performance, and other series came. There was a kind of friction between the monthly schedule of the recordings and the afterthoughts, and the obviously more easy to communicate weekly schedule of, for instance, the Q&A. There was also the studio project. Then came Doubts and Decisions, was a series in which I talked about difficulties and things I had to reflect upon and make a decision. It's not also to give to take away the appearance that you could have from the very polished music videos, that everything was so easy and smoothly for me. But we all have to climb that wall and go as high as we can. And at the end, you have to make a decision about what you're doing. So all those things, all those videos, all the things that, in fact, that I wanted to share with you, I have been looking for a pattern to share that in a way that is easy to communicate. So that if you just jump into my channel as a new viewer, you immediately could grasp a little bit from what I'm doing, what kind of content, so to say, has been produced for that channel, and if that's something for you. Of course, that ties in again to the assignments we have to do for the video labs, the course that I'm following now these weeks with Tim Schmoyer, videocreators.com. It's an interesting question, and now that I've cancelled my whole YouTube schedule, I'm free from that, which I enjoy, because having a schedule is great. It forces you to produce at regular times, which is necessary, but having no schedule is of course great as well, and seeing that the YouTube notification system, at least for some of you, does the job. So I guess most traffic comes from YouTube notification and from related videos and things that YouTube is promoting. So the new YouTube algorithms, but that's way too technical, certainly works for smaller channels like mine. So that's great. But now what? Before that, there is also the piano that's coming. There's no strict date for that. But it will come this year, and so that also has to find its place. I will not have a new YouTube channel for the pianoforte. It would be way too much work, but I was thinking about that for just a slight second, because YouTube authentic sound now is clavichord, and that's the image that has been created, and that's not bad to have an image created. But anyway, the pianoforte will come on the same channel. So what do you think about this? Should we go to a weekly schedule? Should we go work more on projects? One thing I was thinking about is why not working in project form. Like for instance, when the piano comes, that will be dedicated to Beethoven. I would very much like to play Schubert, Chopin even, but I think limiting is a good thing now. And so the project I'm thinking about with the pianoforte, except from the spoken videos, I'm talking now about the music videos, is to play all the works of Beethoven in chronological order. Maybe not only the solo works, but we could think about also the transcriptions, but maybe that's too complicated. But just have all of Beethoven, that would be a series that would last for 5, 6 or 7 years, and have one recording a month. And then go to a weekly schedule, so that we have every Monday, for instance, Monday music as could be a title, 3 other clavichord recordings. And those clavichord recordings, maybe it would be interesting to also group them in the sense that we work 1 month or 2 months, depending on what I'm going to play, on a certain composer, and maybe within the composer a certain area. So for instance, what I'm for a long time desperately wants to do is to play all 6 München sonatas by Mozart. And I've done 3, but I will do them again. And so 1 month or 2 months we could dedicate the channel to Mozart München sonatas, have all the practicing hours, the live sessions in which I'm writing fingerings and talking about technique, you asking questions in the chat. We could expand that with the Google Hangout so that 10 or 15 people of you could actually join the session visually and also with talking, so that we could speak to each other. Maybe not every session, but every now and then. So, but that everything what I'm doing, also the related videos on technique, on history, maybe the vlogs, think about how I would continue this kind of vlogging style, all related to that one subject, which would be then Mozart München sonatas, or next time bigger projects could be w.a.mozart Clavier Book 1. Maybe we could do that over a year. And in between, that's the other thing then, working on other projects like for instance J.S.Bach and pieces could have a place on Wednesday. Every week 1 video about that, so leading to 2019, where I do the recording of the Probestücke. It could be also 2 months dedicated to the recording of that. So the recording part, that's another thing. So if we would go to a certain grouping, so project way of working, you could think also that I would record the pieces for YouTube and then re-record them for tape, maybe for release on vinyl or on disc, on CD later, not all at once, but that everything we will do on the YouTube's channel will lead to some kind of production and some kind of unity. And what I like on that idea is the fact that when the piano comes, you will have a clear grouping. From the clavichord has its own monthly or 2 months projects, and the piano has its own Beethoven project. And so that when you come on the channel, that is clear, and that there is a kind of oversight of what's about. So that's just an idea. This kind of vlogging style could go along with that. Maybe with not a daily upload like now, it would be perhaps a little bit too much. But what I like about these vlogs is they are lighter from tone and from touch. If I make an afterthoughts video, or I talk about J.S.Bach and pieces, or I really have a subject that I would talk about, I do some research, and I want to fact check also a little bit the things that I'm telling to you. But now in these vlogs it's much lighter. It's my personal touch, it's my personal reflection to you, which is me, myself, and I. I mean, there is no relationship now. If I talk to you about the clavichord, or what we were talking about the other days about the clavichord and Bach, or about temperament, there is no source pointing, and that's what I like also doing. It's relief. It's a big relief actually to be able to do that, to out yourself a little bit in that lighter way. So I would be great if you would go in the comment boxes and let me know a little bit what you think about this and how you would like to see the channel evolve to the next step. Thank you all for watching. Thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, we'd love to have you subscribed. See you next time. Bye.